Tuesday. Just need to make it 4 more days, people. Okay, what base do you guys want to use for number 2? There's 2 options. 4? Okay, I want to use 4 also because I'm lazy, too lazy to use 2. 2 will work, I'm just too lazy. Okay, so I'm gonna come over here. 16 is 4 times 4. 64 is 4 times 4 times 4. I'm going to do this in 2 steps because it's a fraction. So I'm going to make this 1 over 4 squared first. And then the negative 3v exponent. And then 64 is 4 to the third. And then times negative 2v that's up there already. Okay, now I'm going to move this up here. So 4 to the negative 2 times negative 3v. And 3 times negative 2v. It's going to be a weird answer, huh? Cancel out the 4s. This side is positive 6v. And this side is negative 6v. Don't let it freak you out. Just keep going. Didn't we have one of those on our scavenger hunt? It was like just like that. It was like 3b equals negative 4b or something, and then you had to like 7b equals 0. I don't know. Okay, anyway. Don't get scared about 0. It just happens. 0 is a perfectly good answer, just like 5. Okay, number 4, guy in circle problem 2 to the x is 64. 64 is 2 to the 6th. 2 to the x equals 2 to the 6th. X equals 6. Two to the 6 equals 64. I mean, if you wrote this, okay, so the directions, I believe on the next test say convert to exponential form and solve. So if you need to convert to exponential form, and then you could skip this step right here and then just write x equals 6. But a quiz or test, I always suggest writing everything out just in case. On the last test that I'm going to give back on Friday, I gave a lot of partial credit on the multiple choice because people had a lot of their work shown, but they picked the wrong answer. So it's always best to show everything you can just for partial credit. But I believe there were people who wrote like their final answer like this, and I gave them full credit, if that's what you mean. Okay. The only part I don't want you to skip is the conversion to exponential if the problem says to do that. Okay. You guys are not done with the packet. There's a resource page we're going to use in it today. If you could find it, it says log property puzzles. It's like sideways. Just set that off to the side. That's number 19. Also, you know how like we finished like 20 minutes early yesterday? That's not gonna happen today. I don't even think I'm gonna finish it. So whatever I don't finish, I'll finish on the block day. Luckily, the block day lesson is not that long. But today is, I just don't wanna go check that. Also, grab a calculator after you're done writing this. Yes, I realize I wrote the same problem 3 times. It is early. Okay, so you know those cooking shows where they make steak 3 ways? So this is one of those. We're gonna do this problem 3 ways. And the first way is the lazy, convenient way, and that's because calculators have gotten more sophisticated. So you guys could do log base 2 of 30 on the calculator really without any thought. I could not do this in high school. My calculator didn't have it. But for us, now in 2024, we can do log base 2 of 30 pretty easy. So hit the math button. If you don't have log base on your calculator, hold on a moment. So go down to log base math, scroll down to log base 2 of 30 is 4.9069. So again, when we're doing log problems, I usually round to the 10,000ths, which is 4 decimal places. Okay. And if you're asked to do this problem, you can get that directly off the calculator. Now, if you're asked to do this problem by converting to exponential, which is what we were just talking about, which is amazing. So if you're asked to convert to exponential and then solve, you set it equal to x and do the guidance circle. So 2 to the x equals 30. And we cannot find a same base for 30. 30 is not 2 to the anything. In this case, we need to do logs. So my x is stuck in the tree. That's actually kind of a hilarious thought. Sorry. The squirrel is stuck in the tree. And I want to get the squirrel down. So what do? I hit it with a log on both sides. You guys did this in your homework a couple of times. So log 2 to the x equals log 30. Then this is like proper amount of work shown here. So I converted to exponential. I log both sides. Now I'm going to use the power property of logarithms, which means that I can move my x in front. Okay. I type log 30 n parentheses divided by log 2 n parentheses. Oh, snap. Same answer. Okay, this is me doing the problem properly. Okay, now I'm going to teach you what's called the change of base formula. So back in the day, before these fancier graphing calculators, we would have to convert this to log base 10, which is basically this. Change of base formula says that you can take the plane log of the big number in parentheses divided by the plane log of the base. Okay, now take a look at my paper, my notes up here, number 15, and tell me where that is already written. Change the base formula says you can change any base log to base 10 by doing log of the parentheses divided by log of the base. Where is that written already somewhere else? Over there. Okay, so change of base formula is basically cutting to the chase of the end of that problem. It's saying, skip all that stuff because you're going to do that the same way every time and just skip to taking this divided by this. And you can do that every time if you want to. And so for those of you with the older graphing calculators, when I was showing you how to graph that yesterday, I was using change of base formula. I was saying log of x, which was in the parentheses, divided by log of the base, because that's equal to converting it to exponential. So just so you know, that always works. Okay. Now on number 16, I want you guys to do this one. I want you to do it two ways. Take two ways. I want you to do the circle, just like that, just follow that problem, do the circle, exponential log both sides, get an answer, and then I want you to check your answer by typing log base 5 of 20 into the calculator. Does that make sense? So you're gonna do this in a different order, you're gonna do B and then A. You can definitely talk to each other, that's fine. Totally okay. Okay, now next question. What is the proper rounding for this decimal here? might be harder than the log. Yes, honey.
Oh, wait, 1.9.
Okay, so we want to round to 4 decimals. So you go to the 3, and then you look next to it, and the 5 is 5 and up. So this is going to become a 4. So 1.8614 would be the correct rounding for that. Okay, and then I'm going to check my answer. Math, log base 5 of 20. Perfect. You guys have any questions about that? How do you use logs to solve an exponential? Yes, ma'am.
How do we do on a quiz if you don't have a calculator?
Actually, this particular quiz for chapter 7, we have to let you calculate it. I know, man, rough for us. What we could have done was have you end here. But we didn't, because, the next thing we're teaching you is, some triangle stuff that has to do with trig. And you need a calculator for that too. So we you're just like, oh, fine. This was good. No, I'm kidding. Actually, we just wanted to grade it properly. So calculator will be allowed on the next one. Do you guys have any questions though about number 15 or 16? And the question that you're gonna ask is, Mrs. Talbot, is it okay if I just write the decimal next to the thing? If the problem says convert to exponential and solve, you need to solve it, show your way properly. Can you use the calculator to check your answer? Absolutely. But that would not be full credit. Okay, now we are going to work on properties of logs. We are gonna skip number 18 because I just can't. But anyway, I just want to activate some prior knowledge in your brain before we start this. And it's not prior knowledge that you love, so I'm just gonna warn you ahead of time. What do you do when you have the same base and you're multiplying exponents? What do you do when you're multiplying and you have the same base? Okay, so there's my auditory question. Now I'm gonna give you my visual question. Okay, this is prior knowledge, prior, like a prior. Like chapter 2 of math 1. Okay, so that was my question. What do I do when I have the same base and I'm multiplying exponents? With my auditory, my visual.
Yeah.
Yes, excellent. Nice memory. Good job. Okay. So next question. Logarithms are inverses of what? Exponential. Where's that word? That word in there. Okay, so as we were talking about, logarithms have their own properties and they behave like exponents. So let me give you a hint and then you guys can start figuring out these puzzles. So there's my old prior knowledge there. Okay, so yeah, you see it. Okay, so if I'm adding, so now you kind of have to go backwards in your mind. So now this is this. So if I'm adding two exponents, what am I doing? Okay, so if I'm, let me point. If I'm adding two exponents, what am I doing? Multiplying. Okay, so what do you suppose, what do you conjecture log 5 plus log 6 is? 30. Genius. Okay, fill in the next two lines. Okay, anyone willing to say what they think I is? 10. Okay, and then curious what you wrote here. Yep. Gorgeous. Okay, now you're on the road. So do you remember what we did when we divided exponent problems? So that's my auditory. There's my visual. What did we do back in the day when you were a freshman and just new to the high school and learning exponents for the first time and loving every minute of it? Subtracting. I know that my freshmen this year, it's their fave. Okay, so if I'm subtracting exponents, which is this, I'm subtracting exponents. What operation is it? Division. Okay, and so this is 4, and then I'm going to try to trick you right here. Don't fall for it. Hmm? 2.5. Okay, you had the right thing. You just did the wrong mental math. Okay, so what do we put here? Yeah. Connor, you're on fire today. Okay, now if you guys could find that resource page, please, that we turned sideways a minute ago. Okay, and I want you to work on this in your groups. I'm gonna walk around and help you. Make sure you're on the right track. Yes,
It's the product company, the platform, and the product.
quotient. Oh, excellent question. This is fourth grade vocab. Fourth grade, beautiful. I love that you brought this up. Product, what does product mean? What's that vocab word mean? It answers to a multiplication problem, but there's a plus, so it's confusing. But remember, these are exponents. Logs are exponents. Okay, now what is that word and when's the last time you spoke it? Anybody know that word? Quotient, nice. What is quotient? Answer to a division problem. Excellent. So there's subtraction there, but you have to remember you're subtracting exponents, which is division. I know. Woo. It's still in there, guys. It's in there. It's in the back. It's in dusty files in the back. But it's there. Okay, I'm gonna walk around and give you feedback. So for, you gotta be creative, my dear. And this time you get to make up your own problems, which means that you're gonna have to know stuff that makes 36. Yeah, so let's think of stuff that multiplies to be 36.
No, I mean, like, to the bottom of that, literally,
Oh, okay, excellent question. So what you're gonna do is take this and figure out the problem first. So this is gonna be 75 divided by 1.5, which is what, 90? Is it 90? No, 75 divided by 50. Okay, so then put log base whatever 50 there and then figure out the rest of them. What? It's okay. I know both of them for so many years. I'm not really. My joke is pieces. Okay, so there's the answers for the first row. 10, 22, and 4 in the parentheses, just so you know you're on the right track. Which one of you were lazy and just picked the divided by 1? You do 36 divided by 2, anybody? 180 divided by 10? Nobody did 18 divided by 1? That don't lazy at all. When you finish, you can start writing this, but take your time. It's okay, I'm coming around. Let me know if you need help. I'm gonna ask you to put your color inside and write down notes. You can adjourn to your public. Okay, so logs have three properties: power, product, and motion, which is exactly the same amount of properties that exponent has. Um, the power property is the one we learned yesterday and we reviewed this morning, where the exponent can come down in the front and become multiplication, which is really helpful for solving equations because we don't know how to undo exponents necessarily, but we do know how to divide. Okay, and the product property and the quotient property are the ones that we just learned just now. So when you're multiplying exponents, you add them. And when you're dividing exponents, you subtract them. The next thing we do is expand and condense. Before I forget, the homework tonight is the log properties worksheet. However, I probably won't finish the note, which means that you won't be able to finish the end of it. So the worksheet won't be due until Friday. Because you probably won't know how to do the end. You already know how to do the whole front page, even without today's lesson. It's all just a review. But the back page is the stuff that we're gonna do right now. So, just so you know. Okay, I do still want to show you my joke if I have time, but example one, expand each logarithm. Okay, so when I say expand, what that means is I've got one of these and I need to move it, I need to change it to be one of these. So it's like the log property puzzles where they give you the problem and then you expand it to the answer. Okay, and I'm gonna do this in multiple steps. First, I'm going to say 5 times 2 to the 1/2 times 3 to the 1/2. Okay, gotta pause right there. Make sure that you guys are all with me. You guys remember that square roots are half exponents. Okay, so let me ask you this. What's a cube root? Third exponent. Perfect. Okay, so does it make sense that I only half exponented the 2 and the 3 and not the 5? Because the 5 was outside and the 2 and the 3 are inside. Okay. All right. 2 more. No, this one has 3 more steps. Sadly. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I say, okay, I have times and times. I'm here, I have times. So I'm gonna split them into separate logs with addition. Log base 7 of 5 plus log base 7 of 2 to the half plus log base 7 of 3 to the half. Okay, now these two have exponents, which I'm going to move to the front. I don't have to do that with this one because it doesn't have an exponent on it. Log base 7 of 5 plus 1/2 log base 7 of 2 plus 1/2 log base 7 of 3. Okay, and then CUDA is actually going to have one step further for their final answer. So instead of having the half in front, they make it divided by 2. Okay, let me just walk through what we just did real quick. The first thing I did was separate each one with times and its own exponent. Then I expanded wherever there was a times to a plus. And this is a single log, and now there's 3 separate logs. Then I put the exponent in front, and then any exponents that were fractions, I made them into division. Okay, now we're gonna do the second one, and then I think we'll be done, and we'll finish the other part tomorrow. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do in B is I'm going to distribute the exponent of the 3 on those. So I have log base 9, 8 to the 3rd times 11 to the 9th. That's supposed to be a 3rd. I don't know what happened there. That's supposed to be a 3. It's special. Okay, now I'm right here. So I'm going to split it into 2 separate logs right where the time symbol is. So log 9, 8 to the 3rd plus log 9, 11 to the 9. Okay, now I'm going to put the exponents in front. 3 log base 9 of 8 plus 9 log base 9 of 11. That's done. I don't have to make them divided by 2 or anything because they're just 3 and 9, they're not fractions. Okay, now guess what we're gonna do tomorrow to finish the notes? What do you think the next part of this is? It's backwards. Yeah, condense. Don't write this. We're gonna do this tomorrow. But I do want to show you my joke, which is gonna be more funny after we condense. That's not you guys. Here you go. So 15 and 19, properties of logarithms. If you did not finish your log properties puzzles, you need to finish that before I stamp, but I'm not gonna stamp tomorrow. So, if you know, we got close on the notes. Log properties worksheet due Friday, and there's my joke. It says, still trying to condense an expression into a single logarithm and before telling them on the bench. He's still trying to do it. He's struggling there. But he's not a link to the bottom. It's the same as link to the I'm saying that.